Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go.
I beat you, I really beat you, Deku. Uraraka, come on, please don't rub it in. I was just caught off guard, that's all. Oh, I won't buy that for a single big, Deku. I beat you fair and square. As everyone began cheering out in the classroom, I'm still a bit annoyed that I actually lost to Uraraka. As Bakugo began screaming out, nerds, don't think this means you're better than me. Next time any test or anything comes around, I'm going to beat you. As I will walk into the classroom and tell the class to settle down. Settle down now. Now, thanks to the sports festival, some of you did better than others, but for the first time in my class history, all of you got internship spots. And the person who got the most was actually Uraraka, since she was the winner of the UA Sports Festival. As everyone is shocked and they begin cheering for her, as she's a bit nervous and she sits down to her seat and says thank you. As Midori will look at the amount of recommendations he got, he would think to himself, I really did it. I couldn't win, but I really did put my name out there. I did what All Might wanted me to do. I told the world that I am here. As he this inside it, and he begins walking to lunch with Uraraka to go over their internships together. As he thinks to himself, wait a second, if I get All Might, I may be able to go back to Dragon World and I might be able to train over there for a week. It would be super beneficial for me and Uraraka if since she could get better training from Master Roshi. As he would go to All Might and he would ask All Might for a favor, as he asked an internship under him so he could have an excuse to be gone for a week. As All Might would say sure, but he had someone who might have been a better option. Well, not necessarily better, since the game she could get for over there is better, but the experience my master have, he may be able to help you out with your control of One for All. As Midori begins to think, as he really wants Uraraka to get training under Master Roshi in order to increase her power, but he also wants to train on a Gran Torino. As Midori will compromise, why don't he do both? Why don't he just bring Gran Torino with him? Of course, Gran Torino is far too old to benefit from the training, but who knows? Maybe Gran Torino would like to see other world. As I might agree for him, and he sets it up as Gran Torino is a bit confused of why All Might is calling him about a parallel dimension, but in his day, see how it works. As he really wants to train the new successor of One for All, and he wants to test out Midoriya's skills and teach him better control. As Midoriya will meet up with him with Uraraka, and they will all go over to the Earth. As Midoriya would introduce Uraraka to Master Roshi, as she says, "Who's this? Your girlfriend?" As Midoriya begins to blush, she says, "Yeah, I taught her the best I can." As Master Roshi would tell Midoriya, "Whoa, you was able to teach us to come this far all your own? You might be smarter. You're even smarter than I gave you credit for it, Midoriya." As Midoriya will begin to blush, he says, "Well, thank you, Master Roshi, but I'm here because I want her to train under you, just like me. It can be good for her and me. I have a better sparring partner, and she has a way to grow stronger." As Uraraka is a bit sad because she did want a mentorship under somewhere else, but she knows the experience she could get from here will be better since she wants to become a workout hero, and this is where she can learn to fight even better than what Midoriya has been teaching her. And over this week, her training would begin as she would learn the basics from Master Roshi and do all the same training that Midoriya did. And since she's beginning at a far stronger point, and she already knows how to use it goes by much faster for her, as she even goes inside the room of spirit and time with Master Roshi. Of course, Midoriya is a bit worried, so he also goes in for the first time along with Gran Torino. And of course, I'm not staying there for a full year, but a couple months, or at least a month, wouldn't harm anybody. And they will all begin training together, with Midoriya being able to reach a power level of 120 and And since she's training in such harsh conditions and having real tutelage from someone better than Midoriya, I believe Uraraka would be able to reach a far greater power level than what she would have had just training along a hero she was going to go with. And she's able to catch up nearly right behind Midoriya to a power level of 100, as she is shocked of how far she comes. She went, as Midoriya would put it, she went from about 50 to 100, and she's almost as strong as him. And Midoriya would actually have far greater control of One for All thanks to Gran Torino, and he's actually able to use One for All efficiently without any stress on his body to about 20%. Gran Torino may not have ki, but his knowledge about the quirk and the way to use his speed is unlike anyone else that Midoriya could have trained under, including Master Roshi. And Master Roshi is even impressed with him that someone even without he could be this fast and get strong, and the knowledge he has, it may not be the same as him, but he did in fact gain Master Roshi respect, as they would leave Time Chamber and then they would heal them up, since he knows the Time Chamber could be rough, but they at school, they like to stay here for a little bit. They have a tournament coming up, and Master Roshi says he would like them to join. As they would be like, he would love to. And Gran Torino says, yes, it'd be good to see how far you two can go. As they would begin preparing for the martial arts tournament, as they would head down to where the tournament will be held, and they would actually sign up. As Midoriya would run back into Gohan, as he's dressed in the Great Sandman outfit, as he says, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you'd be joining Gohan." As Gohan would tell Midoriya, "Wow, you've gotten way stronger. I can feel it." As he would see Uraraka, it says, "Hey, who's this? Is it your girlfriend?" As Midoriya would say, "Well, yeah." As Uraraka would say, "Nice to meet you." As Gohan would introduce them to Videl, and Gohan would also introduce Midoriya to Goku, his father. As Midoriya would be like, "Whoa, this is awesome." Okay, freeze frame. I just realized in the last part I gave Uraraka the Kaioken, and I just realized that in order to go over the Busaga, I said Goku's already there. But since I think it's going to be entertaining, I'm just going to cut this. I'm just going to go over the Buu Saga anyway. So, let's get back on the video. Oh no, I don't even have to say this is a Buu Saga. I'm just going to say this is a martial arts. This is a martial arts tournament. I think it'd be interesting to see how the fighters would compete. And this would be a transfer. This would be a transfer of Midoriya, Uraraka, show off their power against people like Gohan, including Mr. Satan, since at this point in time, Mr. Satan had a power level of just about 135. He's stronger than both Midoriya and Uraraka, so he's actually a decent challenge to them. And let's just say this is a martial arts tournament just about a year after the Buu Saga take place, and right before the events of Daima. As Deku would finally formally meet Goku, since he didn't really have much time to actually speak to him, since he had to train All Might. As he says, "Nice to meet you." As Goku would have totally forgot about him. As they were all, as Midoriya would be dumbfounded. As they would begin actually going to the tournament. As the tournament holds to bring out this punch machine to figure out the placements of the tournament. Since all of the Z fighters aren't here, and it's just something Gohan wanted to do with Videl, and Goku decided to join for the heck of it, as since Vegeta would never pass up a fight, he and Trunks also joins, along with Piccolo, and they would basically get out all the dumb fighters, or basically all the people who can't defeat. So the tournament listing will be Piccolo, Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, Videl, Deku, Uraraka, Master Roshi, just as Jackie Chan. As Goku will see, "Oh, long time no see. As he wasn't expecting to see Jackie Chun here. As everyone be shocked, because that's obviously Master Roshi. As he will be kind of dumbfounded at the stupidity of Goku. But this is somehow also the greatest fighter in the universe. As Midoriya would be bad out of luck, because this because his first opponent would actually be against Goku himself, as he's a bit shocked and screwed. As he says, "No, I'm not going to give up. I am not going to give up." And thankfully, Uraraka was able to teach me the basis of this. It's not going to be much, but their battle began, and Deku says, "All I have to do is hit him with a ring out." As Goku would rush at Midoriya, and they would begin sparring and actually fighting. And Midoriya's giving all he has, using about going into his full power, 20% full Kyle, as he begins punching back Goku, and Goku will be a bit surprised. He can't feel much of these attacks, but he can feel that one fall is just about maybe when he turned straight up when he was a kid, or when Master Roshi used the full power Kamehameha to destroy the moon. This is actually quite impressive for someone who just learned how to use Ki Navi in full 2 years ago. As he's pretty impressed with Midoriya. As Midoriya begins to use Black Whip, as even Deku was shocked because he never experienced this, and Goku will be caught off guard a little bit. It says, "Yo, what exactly are these things?" As he begins to jump above Midoriya and hand up behind him, as Midoriya begins to lose his breath fighting someone this strong, as Midoriya would close his eyes, I open him back up, shouting out Kaioken, as he begins to rush at Goku once more, doing everything in his power. And Goku's quite impressed with this kid. He even used the Kaioken. And Goku says, I don't remember you teaching you that." As Midoriya will point out, he learned it from Uraraka. As he fires off a massive United Stasos Masenko, going full power at Goku. And Goku's powers up like a Kamehameha of his own, firing it at Midoriya Blast, pushing it back or overwhelming it, sending Midoriya flying out of the ring. As Midoriya is a bit bummed he lost out this early, he didn't have to go up against the person Uraraka is fighting, which is Vegeta. And she's a bit horrified at this scary figure, at this horrifying figure that's standing in front of her. Of course, Vegeta had mellow out a bit after the events of the Buu Saga, becoming much more of a family man. But still, he's not going to hold back on anyone, including if somebody's facing him at a fight. As she begins to float up, flying over Vegeta, as she says, "Hey, we agree upon no flying." As Uraraka would say, she's not flying. It's one of her powers. It's called zero gravity. I can make my entire body weighs nothing, and with Chi, I can make the effects last way longer without getting sick. And she would appear behind him, and using the Kaioken, since they was already reaching light speeds in OG Dragon Ball, she's actually managed to move unbelievably fast, and her entire body is weightless. And this even gives Vegeta a run for his money, knowing the fact that he's also married to the richest woman in the world. I mean. As they would begin fighting it, Deku's like, "Whoa, I didn't know Uraraka could get this fast." And since she's not being helped by anything, she's getting faster and faster over time. And even Vegeta is impressed, since he didn't know our Earthling could get this fast. As he begins to power up just a little bit more, and he sees a red blur flying in front of him, and she says, "Wait, Kaioken?" As Uraraka for the first time is able to land a clean hit on Vegeta's face, pushing him back just the slightest bit. With the feet behind the force being managed to do so. No, Uraraka is still nowhere near the level of Vegeta, but in counting on how fast she was doing, the force behind the punch was enough to push him back a bit. As he begins to smile, as he powers up, he decides to put on a little show to where these kids need to meet up to them someday. As he sees potential in them, and he sees potential in them, and he actually wants to see how far they can go, he will power up into Super Saiyan, capturing Uraraka and sending her flying out of the ring. As everyone began yelling at Vegeta that and says, "Hey, that was a bit too far." As Uraraka would get back up like nothing happened, since Vegeta didn't use that much powers and he didn't intend to kill her. She eats the sense of being that Midoriya gave her just before the match, and she goes back up to full health. And she tells Vegeta thanks for the fight. As they will all be sitting down watching the rest of the tournament unfold, Gohan versus Piccolo, Videl versus Jackie Chan, and they're impressed with the speed of this old man or Master Roshi. This really is how powerful their master is, and this even had a greater effect This even had a greater effect with Gohan in this timeline, since he's not slacking off. He's actually training a lot more. Not only to keep up his superhero appearance, but he's actually writing a book on ki control. Since he got inspired by Deku, and this is going to be a segment of his research. Not only is he studying in certain instances, since he has a keen understanding of him and he likes it, he's also writing a book on ki control. And in order to do that properly, he needs to continue his training just to see how far he can go. So Midoriya ending up in a Dragon Ball world also had a positive effect on Gohan, and byproduct, and Videl is actually getting a lot stronger, and she even continued her training a bit in this timeline. But sadly, she's still defeated by Jackie Chan, and Piccolo will actually get defeated by Vegeta. So the three finalists. So just like that last tournament, the finalists would be in a battle royale with Mr. Satan versus Jackie Chan, Vegeta, and Goku. And without a doubt, it's obvious who wins here. Mr. Satan would obviously obliterate their opponents, since they all had an agreement to let him win anyway. And they would be able to see Vegeta and Goku go all out, and Master Roshi would even begin fighting Hercule, saying, "Yo, you're pretty strong. You really should train under me, at least a little bit. You might be the most powerful human on Earth." And Master Roshi wants to know how he managed to get this strong in the first place. Yes, Hercule is fine. It's simply nothing but hard work on his part. And Master Roshi remarked, "No wonder he was able. You're just about as strong as Goku was in his second tournament. No wonder you've been able to dominate the tournament for this long." As Jackie Chan would end up forfeiting, not necessarily needing the money, and they would see, and in the fight against Goku and Vegeta, Uraraka and Deku will see how powerful they truly are, and they're inspired, and that's how far they want to go someday. As with a slight hand trick, just like Trunks did to Goten, Vegeta will actually win this match via ring out, and Goku is still a bit annoyed that he lost like easily, but who's to say they won't be able to make it back someday? As Gran Torino says, "Hey, we've been here for just about almost 5 days, right?" As they would say, "Yeah." As the tournament would end, they would all get a break. Gran Torino would say, "Hey, let's go back to our world now. We still need to get you guys at least a little hero training." As they will all agree, and they will all go their separate ways, as begin going their separate ways, and they will actually go back to their world to do a little bit of hero training. As over the next few days, they've been actually able to get real experience out there in their world, and they've been able to do some real actual experience training, and they know how some villain operations work now, thanks to Gran Torino.